My daughter's friends laughed at my cheap clothes at her graduation party, so I shut down the entire fashion brand they were wearing. Wait, what? Before I tell you how a dad in worn-out jeans destroyed an entire group of fashion snobs, smash that subscribe button, because stories like this will blow your mind every single day. Let me take you back to 3 months ago. My name is Robert Chin, and I'm 52 years old. For the past 20 years, I've been quietly running a small fashion company called Urban Edge. You probably never heard of it, but trust me, your favorite TikTokers are probably wearing my designs right now. I've always been the type of dad who wears the same old jeans and plain t-shirts. Why? Because I spend 14 hours a day building my empire instead of shopping for clothes. My wife, Sarah, always jokes that I look like I raided a homeless shelter's donation bin. She's not wrong. But hey, comfort over fashion, right? My daughter Emma was graduating from college. She's 22, smart as a whip, and honestly, she's always been a little embarrassed by how I dress. But she's my princess, and I would literally fight a bear for her. So here's where things get spicy. The graduation party was at our house. Emma invited her college friends over. But these weren't just any friends. These were the trust fund babies. The ones who think a $5 coffee is a basic human right and complain when their dad only gives them $2,000 a month for expenses. I was in the kitchen making sandwiches like the good dad I am when I heard them talking in the living room. And let me tell you, what I heard made my blood boil. "Emma, your dad seems nice," said Madison, this blonde girl with a designer purse that probably cost more than my first car. "Yeah, he's great," Emma replied. But even I could hear the embarrassment in her voice. "Ouch! Does he always dress like he just rolled out of bed?" asked another girl, Jessica. They all started giggling like hyenas. "I mean, look at those jeans. Did he fish them out of the dumpster?" Madison whispered, but loud enough for me to hear. Real subtle Madison. "And that t-shirt looks older than my little brother," Jessica added. "Does he know that stores exist?" Then I heard the words that absolutely shattered my heart into a million pieces. "Honestly, Emma, I don't know how you survived the secondhand embarrassment. My dad would literally disown me if I let him leave the house looking like that. He looks like he's about to ask for spare change." Emma didn't defend me. She just stayed quiet. My own daughter. The one I worked my butt off to put through college. Silent. But here's where the universe started laughing at these girls, and they had no idea. I walked into the living room carrying the sandwiches, pretending I didn't just hear them roast me alive. The girls immediately stopped talking and put on their fake Instagram-worthy smiles. "Thanks, Mr. Chun," they chirped sweetly. But I saw them exchanging glances and trying not to laugh. Real mature. "Ladies, here's the kicker that made me want to burst out laughing right then and there. Madison was wearing a $300 Urban Edge crop top. Jessica had on Urban Edge jeans that retail for $200. The third girl, Sophia, was carrying an Urban Edge backpack worth $150. These girls were literally wearing MY designs while calling me a fashion disaster. It's like Gordon Ramsay getting cooking tips from someone eating a microwave dinner. The irony was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. But I kept my mouth shut. I didn't want to embarrass Emma. Yet, for the next 2 hours, I got to listen to these fashion experts talk about clothes. Madison bragged about spending $500 on a single outfit. Jessica showed off her Instagram fashion blog with 50,000 followers who apparently worship her fashion sense. Sophia mentioned how she only shops at boutiques that understand her aesthetic. They talked about fashion like they invented it, like they were the Anna Wintours of Generation Z. Meanwhile, I'm standing there knowing I literally designed the clothes they're wearing and acting superior about. It's like watching someone flex with your own muscles. Madison kept going on about her internship at some fancy fashion magazine. "I basically decide what's trendy now," she said, flipping her hair. "People look to me for fashion inspiration." Jessica nodded along. "Same. My followers literally buy whatever I recommend. I have so much influence in the fashion world." Sophia chimed in, "Working at Lux Lifestyle has taught me everything about high-end fashion. I can spot quality from a mile away." I want to tell them, "Ladies, you're wearing my homework, But I controlled myself. After they finally left, Emma found me in my home office. She had that look on her face. You know, the one kids get when they're about to hurt your feelings for your own good. Dad, we need to talk. My heart sank faster than the Titanic. I love you more than anything, but could you maybe dress better when my friends come over? It's just, they notice things, and I don't want them to think. Think what, Emma? That we can't afford nice clothes. Those words hit me harder than a freight train, carrying emotional damage. Here I am, working 80-hour weeks for 2 decades to build a multi-million-dollar company, missing family dinners, vacations, and sleep to make sure Emma never worry about money, paying for her expensive private college, her luxury apartment, her car, her spring break trips to Cabo. And she's embarrassed because I wear comfortable clothes? Emma, do you actually know what I do for work? I asked, genuinely curious. She looked confused. You have some kind of business with clothes or something. My own daughter, 22 years old, had no idea her father was successful. To her, I was just an embarrassing dad who dressed like he shopped exclusively at garage sales. That night, I sat in my office, staring at the wall. Then I started laughing. Not a happy laugh. More like a supervillain who just figured out the perfect evil plan. It was time to teach some people a lesson they'd never forget. But my revenge was going to be more satisfying than finding money in your old jeans. Here's what these fashion experts didn't know about Urban Edge. We don't just make clothes and hope someone buys them. We control the entire supply chain for dozens of trendy boutiques and online stores across the country. Those fancy shops where Madison, Jessica, and Sophia spend their parents' money, they get their inventory from us. We manufacture everything, slap different labels on it, and sell it to retailers who mark it up 300% because people like paying more for the exact same thing. I spent the next week doing some detective work. Madison worked at Fashion Forward magazine as an unpaid intern, basically fetching coffee and posting on social media. Jessica ran her little fashion blog that made maybe $200 a month if she was lucky. Sophia worked part-time at Luxe Lifestyle Boutique, probably getting paid minimum wage to fold clothes. Here's the beautiful part. All 3 of them were completely broke. They lived off their parents' credit cards and student loans to maintain their fake rich girl lifestyle. Madison's family was middle class, pretending to be wealthy. Jessica's parents were already worried about her credit card bills. Sophia was drowning in student debt, but still buying $200 jeans. They were basically financial disasters wearing expensive costumes. But here's what made this perfect. They all depended on Urban Edge products to maintain their fashionable image. Every single piece they owned and bragged about came from my company. Time to cut off a supply. First target, Madison and her little magazine internship. I called Derek, the owner of Fashion Forward magazine. He'd been begging Urban Edge to advertise with him for months, sending emails like a desperate ex-boyfriend. Derek, I'm finally ready to discuss advertising, but I have some concerns about your staff. I said, playing it cool. I sent him screenshots of Madison's social media, posts where she made fun of poor people for shopping at discount stores, posts where she called people who don't wear designer clothes trashy and clueless. One post literally said, if you can't afford to dress well, just stay home. This girl had the audacity to mock people for not having money while working an unpaid internship. The math wasn't mathing. I can't have Urban Edge associated with someone who bullies people for their financial situation. I told Derek, our brand values include respect for everyone, regardless of their income. Derek was horrified. Madison was fired within 24 hours. Apparently, she cried in the bathroom and tried to blame cancel culture. No, honey, this is just consequence culture. But I was just warming up. Next target, Jessica and her precious little blog. Jessica made her tiny income through affiliate links, earning commissions when people bought clothes she recommended. Guess which brand made up 80% of her affiliate earnings? That's right, Urban Edge. I contacted our affiliate program manager. Remove Jessica Martinez from our program immediately. She doesn't represent our brand values. Just like that, Jessica lost her main source of income. Her blog went from making $200 a month to making $0 a month. But wait, there's more. Jessica had been posting photos wearing Urban Edge clothes and claiming she discovered these amazing new designers. She was literally taking credit for finding brands that I created. It's like claiming you discovered pizza while eating at Pizza Hut. So I had our legal team send her a cease and desist letter for unauthorized use of our trademark designs in her commercial content. Jessica's blog shut down faster than a lemonade stand in winter. She couldn't afford a lawyer to fight it, and she knew she was in the wrong. Now for the final boss, Sophia and her fancy boutique job. Luxe Lifestyle Boutique was one of our biggest retail partners. They ordered $50,000 worth of Urban Edge products every month and sold them at triple the price. Mrs. Patterson, the owner, treated that relationship like gold. I scheduled a meeting with Mrs. Patterson. I need to discuss a concern about one of your employees. I showed her videos from Emma's graduation party. Videos where Sophia mocked people for being unfashionable and poor. Videos where she bragged about only serving classy customers and refusing to help people who obviously can't afford anything good. Mrs. Patterson, Urban Edge builds clothes for everyone to feel confident and beautiful. We can't supply stores that employ people who discriminate against customers based on appearance or perceived income level. Mrs. Patterson went pale. Losing Urban Edge would destroy her business. Sophia was fired before I even left the building. Mrs. Patterson called her immediately and told her not to bother coming in ever again. 3 down, but I wasn't finished. Not even close. The girls had no idea why their lives were suddenly falling apart. They thought it was just bad luck. Madison couldn't find another fashion job. Jessica's online presence was dead. Sophia was unemployed and desperate. But then I decided to reveal myself. Time for the grand finale. Emma was having coffee with her 3 friends a week later. They were having a pity party, complaining about their unfortunate circumstances. It's so weird how everything went wrong at once, Madison whined. Someone must be sabotaging us. Probably some jealous person who's mad that we have taste, Jessica added, still completely clueless. I think it's a conspiracy against successful young women, Sophia declared. The delusion was strong with this one. That's when Emma got a text from me. Tell your friends to check their Instagram DMs right now. I had sent each of them the same message from Urban Edge's official Instagram account with 2 million followers. Hi, Madison, Jessica, Sophia. This is Robert Chun, founder and CEO of Urban Edge. You were wearing $650 worth of MY designs when you called me homeless at my daughter's graduation party. The fashion disaster. You mocked on the company that makes all your favorite clothes. You judged me for wearing old jeans while literally wearing clothes I designed. Congratulations. You played yourselves harder than anyone in fashion history. You're permanently banned from ever purchasing Urban Edge products again. Good luck maintaining your high fashion standards without us. Maybe next time don't bite the hand that dresses you. Robert. Emma called me immediately, her voice shaking. Dad, please tell me this is real. Are you actually the CEO of Urban Edge? Yes, sweetheart. I've been running this company since you were 2 years old. But why didn't you ever tell me? I had no idea you were successful. Because I wanted you to love me for who I am, not what I own. But apparently, that wasn't good enough for you or your friends. The silence on the phone was deafening. Dad, I feel sick. I'm so sorry. I can't believe what I said to you. Your friends are about to find out exactly who they mess with. I told her. And boy, did they ever. Within an hour, all 3 girls were posting on social media. But instead of apologizing, they doubled down on stupid. Madison posted a long Instagram story claiming she was being harassed by an unstable old man who was clearly lying about owning a fashion company. Jessica made a TikTok saying she was being bullied by a jealous boomer who can't handle successful young women. Sophia started a GoFundMe asking for money because she was fired unfairly by a crazy person. They were still calling me crazy and claiming to be victims. These girls had zero self-awareness and negative accountability. Big mistake. Huge. I hired a social media team to create the response video that would end their careers. The video started with audio from the graduation party where they mocked me and called me homeless. Then it showed photos of them wearing head-to-toe Urban Edge outfits worth thousands of dollars. Then their recent social media posts claiming to be victims of a crazy old man. The caption read, "When you mock the poor dad, but he owns a fashion empire you worship. Meet Robert Chen, CEO of Urban Edge, and the three girls who learned that actions have consequences." The video included receipts, screenshots of their nasty social media posts about poor people, photos of them bragging about expensive clothes. Everything. The internet absolutely destroyed them. The video got 15 million views in 48 hours. The comment section was more brutal than a Gordon Ramsay kitchen meltdown. These girls got humbled so hard they need a chiropractor. Imagine being this entitled and stupid at the same time. This is what happens when you judge people by their wallet. The audacity of these girls is off the charts. They really thought they were main characters and got treated like NPCs. But it got worse for them. Way worse. Other people started sharing their own stories about these girls. Madison's college classmates revealed she had bullied people for wearing cheap clothes and excluded people from parties if they didn't look rich enough. Jessica's high school friend shared screenshots of her making fun of scholarship students and calling them charity cases. Sophia's co-workers from previous jobs came forward with stories about her discriminating against customers and being horrible to anyone she thought was beneath her. These girls weren't just mean to me. They had a pattern of being terrible human beings. The internet turned them into memes overnight. Their faces were everywhere with captions like, "When you mock the CEO," "How to ruin your life in one conversation," and the audacity level, maximum. Madison had to delete all her social media and move back to her parents' house in Ohio. No fashion company would hire her because she became synonymous with elitism and bullying. Her parents were so embarrassed, they made her get a job at a local grocery store. From fashion intern to grocery bagger. That's what we call a career 180. Jessica tried to make a comeback video apologizing, but it was too little, too late. She couldn't get brand sponsorships because companies saw her as toxic. Her apology video got more dislikes than likes, with comments saying she was only sorry because she got caught. She ended up working at her dad's insurance office, filing papers and answering phones. Her dreams of being a fashion influencer died harder than her credibility. Sophia had it worst of all. No retail store would hire her because the videos showed her discriminating against customers. She couldn't get any job in fashion or retail because employers would Google her name and find the viral video. She ended up working at a call center, taking complaints from angry customers all day. The irony was beautiful. But here's my favorite part. Other fashion CEOs reached out to thank me. Apparently, these three girls have been rude to multiple industry professionals, thinking they were untouchable. I accidentally cleaned up the entire fashion scene by exposing them. The most important thing happened with Emma, though. She came to my office the next day, tears streaming down her face. "Dad, I don't even know how to begin apologizing. I was worried about what people thought instead of remembering who raised me. You built an empire. You provided for our family. You sacrificed everything for me, and I was embarrassed of you because of your clothes." She hugged me so tight, I thought my ribs might crack. "I'm ashamed of myself. I'm proud to be your daughter. I don't care if you wear pajamas to my wedding. You're the most successful person I know, and I was too shallow to see it." Emma started working at Urban Edge part-time. She wanted to learn the business and understand what I had built. She also personally reached out to Madison, Jessica, and Sophia to tell them exactly what she thought of their behavior. Let's just say it wasn't friendly. As for the three fashion experts, they learned the most expensive lesson of their lives about judging people by their appearance. Madison lost her dream career and had to move back home in shame. Jessica's influencer dreams died along with her credibility. Sophia went from fashion retail to customer service hell. But the story gets even better. Remember how I said they were all broke? Well, being internet famous for the wrong reasons doesn't pay the bills. Madison's parents cut off her credit cards and made her get a real job. Jessica's brand partnerships disappeared, leaving her with student loans and no income. Sophia couldn't find work in fashion anymore and had to take whatever job she could get. They went from fake rich girls to genuinely struggling, all because they couldn't keep their mouths shut about a man in old jeans. The final twist? Urban Edge sales increased by 40% after the video went viral. Turns out people love supporting a company whose CEO stands up to bullies. We got thousands of messages from customers sharing their own stories about being judged for their appearance. I started a new campaign called Don't Judge the Cover, featuring real people in comfortable clothes talking about their success stories. It became our most successful marketing campaign ever. Sometimes the person you mock for looking poor might be the CEO who controls your entire fake lifestyle. Sometimes that person has the power to expose your true character to millions of people. And sometimes karma doesn't just knock on your door. It kicks it down and moves in permanently. Those girls thought they were fashion royalty, but they got dethroned by the man they called a peasant. They learned that real power doesn't come from expensive clothes. It comes from building something meaningful while staying humble. And honestly, watching their entire fake world collapse because of their own arrogance was more satisfying than any designer outfit could ever be. They got exactly what they deserved, and the whole world got to watch it happen. Justice served colder than their hearts, and twice as satisfying.